This conference will now be
Yes,
recorded.
Should we start?
yes, I think we
Yes.
can start.
Okay. Um, Welcome everyone. My name is Trupti, and I am going to present or give you a demo for Excel today. I appreciate everyone spending a weekend as an investment to learn Excel. Let me introduce myself. I am a corporate trainer with the experience of 15 years into training. I conduct trainings for databases, Excels, reporting tools, and BI tools. I have conducted trainings for laterals. I have also conducted trainings for freshers as well as mixed mode batches, and I do conduct instructor-led trainings as well as online trainings. Okay. I am empaneled trainer for SBI cards, wherein I go to all the branches of SBI and I do conduct courses for advanced Excel and basic Excel to them. I also conduct Excel trainings at different levels, right from college level to let's say corporate level. So at different intermediate, basic, and advanced, that type of trainings we do conduct. I hope I am audible to everybody. If at all you come across any problem regarding audio, or if you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask me, or you can write your message in the chat window as well. Fine. So today I'm going to talk to you regarding about our Excel training. What are all the topics that we are going to cover in this session of Excel? And maybe I'll give you a little demo about a particular topic. So you will have an idea about how the course is going to be conducted and how it is how we are going to go through different topics. Obviously, you will see some topics here, and during the course, I may add some topics as and when required by the candidates. Okay, so if for any training, it does not happen that these are the contents and I'll stick to the contents. In the course or as and when we go ahead, we may come up with different requirements. So some topics may be added, some topics may be deleted. So this can be taken as a baseline. That is what I mean to say. Fine. So let us start. First of all, I'll introduce you with Excel. So let's say we have a Microsoft product which is called as MS Office, and it has different parts, like there is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, isn't it? Access, etc. Now we say that probably you must be aware of Word. Okay, so we use Word for different purpose, we use Excel for different purpose. Now the basic question that would be that if at all I have Word with me, I can type, I can create reports. There is a facility provided by Word, let's say it is called as mail merge, wherein the same contents, if I have to share with multiple people, I can just change the address and the contents remains the same. That is a Word's facility. So if I can type in Word, why should I go for Excel is the basic question, right? So basically, Word is meant for documentation, writing letters, then creating some invitations or data, data entry type. Whereas Excel is the main important reason to use Excel is to store data to some extent and to perform calculations. That is what the purpose of using Excel is. I cannot say that Excel is a database software. Okay, it's not a DBMS or RDBMS. It is basically a very specific tool for calculations, wherein we have got different functions to calculate. So we will, in due course of time, we will study different functions. So we will start with Excel. We will explore the window. We will see how to enter the data inside Excel, then how to save the data or copy or delete or open the worksheet. Now for this I'll take you to the Excel window. The Excel version that I am using right now is 2010. In your case it may be something else, maybe higher versions you may be using, but actually it doesn't matter. Interface may change but the functions remains the same. Okay, so that should not be uh, concern for all of us. Now here we are looking at the Excel window, which is
So
empty
question.
Excel window. Yes,
This is 2010.
I suppose. Yes, Manan.
This is 2010.
Yes.
Okay. But now the current one is 2016. There are two revisions,
Okay.
2013 and 2016.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. The contents that we are going to cover, it actually doesn't matter.
Okay.
Uh, hmm.
But
So,
still the UI, the look and feel also matters. I
yes.
mean, you get connected to that UI,
Hmm.
and so I think in India it's not difficult to get a latest Excel version. Just think about
The
it.
options remains the same. They
Yeah, the
don't change.
options, functions, and even the
Yes.
backend, whatever
Yes.
calculations are happening, those remain same. But I'm talking about the UI. So once we become familiar with the UI, uh, it's normally it stays same for 3 years. So
Hmm.
if we are doing in 2019, I think we can expect a version later this year, 2019, another version. So I think we
Hmm.
should start with 20. If at all you can have access to Excel 2016 or
I
Office
tried.
2016.
I tried.
Okay, okay, thank you. That's it.
So what we are looking at here right now is the Excel window, wherein uh, there is a grid, as you can see. Okay. Now, if I'm comparing it with Word, when you're working with Word, what do you have? You have pages, right? If I keep on writing, after one page, another page starts. So it tells you 1 out of 10 you are referring to, second out of 16 you are referring to. So a Word document is made up of pages, okay? And here we call it as Word document. But if you are coming to Excel, we do not say it as a document. If you can see, it is called as a workbook. Can you see my mouse pointer? It is saying book 1. Book 1 is the default name that it has taken. So if you are using Excel, we say that a file is referred as a workbook. Okay. Just like Word document has different pages, here one Excel workbook has different Excel worksheets. Here you can see on the left hand corner down, sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. By default there are 3 worksheets. Later on you can keep on adding multiple worksheets. Okay. So what we have learned so far is one workbook has multiple worksheets. So you can compare this as one document has multiple pages. Fine. Now let us see what are the contents of this workbook. This workbook, these are called as tabs: home tab, insert tab, formulas tabs, etc. These are called as ribbons. Okay, so every ribbon has got related options to that ribbon. So if you go to home tab, all the options related to editing, formatting will be present there. If you go to the formula tab, all the options related to different types of functions or formulas, you will find it here. So these are called as ribbons, and the ribbons has got the toggle buttons. You click on it, turns to on. You click on it again, it turns to off. That is what the toggle buttons are all about. Fine. Now, like I told you, we use Excel for entering and storing the data. And once we store the data, we apply formulas on it and we perform calculations on it, right? For example, if I have to find out what is the average salary, or if I want to find out how many total employees are there. Okay, so the functions or the formulas I'll be using will be like count, sum, minimum, maximum, like that. So you enter the data, then you edit the data, save it, and after that you perform different calculations on it and you generate results. Okay, now after you do that, you can also generate nice charts out of it. So for the time being, we will start with entering the data. Before we start entering the data, I suppose all of you can see the grid here, right? There are some columns. Vertical are the columns and they have got names A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. And horizontal are the rows. As you can see here, they have got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Fine. Intersection of row and column is called as cell. I repeat, intersection of row and column is called as cell. Now, when you are working with Word, you see that there is always a black line blinking, isn't it? It is called as a cursor. What is the purpose of that cursor? It tells you the starting point from where you start working. Similarly, if you observe this window, there are gray colored grid lines, but there is only one black square. This you can compare with cursor in Word. This is called as active cell. What is it called as? Active cell. Now what is this active cell? Active cell means a cell which lets you currently make changes, or if you start typing, you will be typing from that particular cell. Fine. Okay. Now there is something here. If I take my cursor here, it is called as name box. Now this name box is going to help us a lot. Whenever you want to navigate in Excel sheet, you are going to come across this name box. See, every cell has a cell address. Means what? There are n number of cells. If you see right now, these many rows are there, and there are n number of columns also. See, after A, B, C, D up to Z, then starts A, B, AC, then it may be BA, BB, BC, till XFD. So the capacity of storing data is quite good, and this for one Excel sheet. The same thing for another Excel sheet. So you can keep on adding multiple Excel sheets and store a large amount of data. For example, Excel sheet 1 is for storing January's data. Excel sheet 2 is for storing February's data. So like this, one workbook I can create which will have 12 worksheets, each for 1 month. Okay, and there will be separate combinations for each month's data, right? So I can keep on adding such worksheets. Fine. So I was talking about the cell address. Let us see the cell address. Whenever I go to any cell, it tells you that there is something. Right now it is telling me B10. Now let us understand what do I mean by B10. B10 means currently I am in column B and in row 10. Okay, so that is called as a cell address. Means column number or column name followed by row number. Now suppose I want to go to row number 10 and column AA. So instead of scrolling or taking that cursor there, I can simply go to name box and say AA101 and press enter. So if I press enter right now, what will happen? It will directly jump to that particular cell which I have entered in the name box. So if you can see, this is column AA and this is the row number 101, right? So instead of browsing, instead of taking your cursor or pointer there, I can type the cell address and it will take you to that well. To go to again home, I can say A1 and it will take back me to that well. Now there are some shortcuts also which are you should be using. Control plus right arrow key. It takes you to the last column of a particular row. As you can see, it has taken me to except D. Control plus left arrow, it will take me to the first column. Control plus down arrow key, it will take me to the last row of a particular column. Let's say right now I am in column I and I say control plus down arrow. So I'll go to the last row of I column. Now suppose I am somewhere in Q, here in the middle, and I'm saying control plus up arrow key. So it will take me to the first row of that particular column. Fine. So control plus left, right, up or down. These are the shortcut keys to navigate through your Excel sheet. Control home will always take you to the first column and first row, that is A1. Okay, that is how we work. These are some shortcut keys that can be used to navigate. Now about the sheets that we see here, it's not that always you have to use sheet 1 and sheet 2 etc. I can right click on the sheet and then you can see that there are some options. I can insert a new sheet.
Oh,
So a new sheet will get inserted. Let's say sheet 4 has got inserted. If you don't want, you can delete this sheet by saying delete. So that sheet will get deleted. Then I can rename the sheet this way, or I can simply double click and it gets renamed. So I'll say January, February, and then right now we will have only 3 March. Fine. I can also change, I can move the worksheet from one place to another, move or copy, like this. Fine. So you can change, you can move, you can copy, you can rename all these worksheets and then you can change their positions. Fine. Now entering the data. You can enter the data, copy. You can do all the editing with the worksheets that the data that you are entering. Suppose I want to generate or I want to create a table. And I'm saying serial number, name, and I'm entering marks and let's say maths. Okay. Now sometimes you do not see the entire contents. I want you to focus on column F. Okay. I don't see all the contents of the data. So what you can do is you can resize the column. Can you see that if I focus or if I take my mouse pointer between two columns, the icon changes to black plus, right? So
Yeah.
you can click here and you can drag. You can either expand or you can reduce. Fine. Or you can correctly fit it by simply double clicking on it. Fine.
Okay.
So the contents will automatically resize according to the given data. Now I want to generate the numbers for serial number. Fine. So I entered 1, I entered 2, and the story goes on. Right now it is possible. Let's say I have 5 records, 10 records, I can manually enter. But if I'm looking at a particular series of number, let's say 10,000 records, 500 records, like that, it is simply not possible for me to keep on adding or entering. It will be a waste of time. So what I can do is I can generate a series of numbers, fine, and that is the option that we are going to use. It is called as fill series. Can you see here where my mouse pointer is? It is called as fill series. So now I'm going to give you a demo of how to automatically create a series of numbers. The prerequisite is you have to tell Excel the step by value. That means the first value that you want to provide and the next value, that the difference. For example, the first value is 1 and the second value is step by how many. Right now step by 1. Okay, so what you do is you take two numbers, you select them together. Okay, after selecting them together, then on the right hand corner, you will see that whenever my mouse pointer comes on the right hand corner, a black plus appears. Okay, this is called as fill handle. What is it called as? A fill handle. Okay, I click
Full-handed.
on this fill. Yes, uh, yes, Ashish.
Yes.
I suppose somebody was asking me queries.
No, no. I was just repeating what you told.
Okay, okay, fine. Uh, just a minute. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Yes. So enter first number, enter second number, then select both of them. Go to the right hand corner. A fill handle will be seen, and now drag. Can you see the numbers are getting created, next numbers are coming up. So I'm dragging and I'm getting next numbers, right? This is called as
Yes.
autofill. So I do not have to manually enter the data. I'm not bothered about the next number. Okay. So what I'm getting is I'm getting a series of numbers, right? So what you have to provide is you have to provide a step over value. That is the only thing that is a prerequisite. So for example, like most of the times, you know, if somebody asks me to generate a table of 27, it will be a bit difficult for me. So I do not even expect my kids. So let's say maybe I am generating a table of 16. Okay, so I'll say at least second number you should know. So I am giving first number, then I am giving the second number, and then I am generating the next number. So now I have created a table like this, right? So it just asks you the value of the difference. This was about numbers. I can also create like Sunday, Monday, and drag. So this will be useful. Can you tell me when it will be useful? It's like I have to generate attendance sheet, okay, or I have to generate write comments for every day, like that. So for each day, if I have to generate some kind of attendance, each day if I have to generate some kind of comments or reports, so instead of typing, I generate it. Now when I'm talking about attendance, can you see that it generates all weekdays, isn't it? So please focus on this. It is also generating weekends, right? Because it's his job to generate all the days. Now when I'm creating days, I don't want to have weekends in between. I want Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, right? So what we can
Yes.
do is we can select it and we can skip weekends. So Excel has given us that facility. I'm saying Monday, then I'm saying sorry, Tuesday. I select both. I may drag, but then I'm getting Saturday, Sunday. So there is a fill handle. Can you see here? This fill handle give me different options. Now if I explore this, see these are different radio buttons. Fill series, fill formatting, fill days, and the last option if you can see, fill weekdays. Okay, if I choose this option, now please focus that after Friday you directly get Monday, right? So it excludes the weekends because I have chosen that option. Getting my point? So this can also be done for January. Sorry, like that, right? So I can generate a series of months. Even I can uh, do it like January, February, and then I can start entering data for each of the value. Okay, so either vertically or horizontal. So like this we can enter data. Okay, so we will be looking at entering values, then how to save worksheet, workbook, delete, open, close, hide it, etc. Now, editing workbook. That means when I start entering the data, how I should move with, how I should deal with the records or the rows, then how I should copy and paste. See, paste has got multiple options. Whether you want to paste formulas, whether you want to paste values, or you want to paste only the formatting, that is background color or something, or you want to paste some special values. So even paste has got multiple options. Okay. So we will see how to paste different values, etc. We are going to insert comments. Now what are these comments is, whenever I am entering a value, let us say I am entering a value for January. Okay, so for January I can enter something called as comment, and I'll say anything. Okay, right now it doesn't matter. It can be interest rate of a particular scheme, or it can be information about a student who has skipped exam, or it can be a value, let's say a value 3.14 of a variable pi. It can be anything. Okay, it is an additional information about that cell, that is called as a comment. So what is the use of this comment? The comment always is not visible. Okay, but can you see that the other cells, this cell is looking different and this cell is looking different? It has got a red remark at the corner. Can you see this red remark at the corner? Okay, so when you click on April, no help will be given to you. But if you take your pointer to the month of January, you do not even have to click there. The additional comment related to that cell appears. This is a extra help or extra information given about that particular cell is called as a comment. You can add, delete or edit a comment. We will check about that later on. Formatting of cells. Formatting of cells means what? Basically, formatting means changing the appearance. It may be formatting in Word, it may be formatting in PowerPoint or Excel. Okay, so to make changes to the appearance of the cells is called as formatting. For example, let's say I want to make changes to the formatting here. So I can do it through Home tab also, or I can right click and go to Format Cells. Okay, now there are different options that are available to us. What is the type of that cell, whether it is number type, date type, text type, or it's a generalized cell? What is the alignment? Alignment means how you want the position of the text in the cell. Okay, center, bottom, up, etc. Sometimes the text is cannot be fit into one cell, so you can change the alignment. You can change the font, etc. You can fill it with some different color. Okay, and you can border it. So this will be the effect after I change the formatting. Fine. So you can change the alignment. Right now it is bottom align. I can change it to center align or top align, etc. Fine. So depending upon your requirement, you can change the formatting of a particular cell. You can, make it more readable, or the report should be more attractive depending upon what is the requirement. Fine. So there are different formatting options that we will be going through, and alignments. Now, when you are taking printout, See, this Excel worksheet that you are looking at, you are looking at these grids, these boxes, isn't it? But if you take a printout of this right now, you will not see these grids. They will only be seen if you give the grid lines to it. Now if you take a printout of this particular thing, now only this part will show you the grid lines. Okay, so this particular changes or this particular adjustments we will be looking at when we are looking at taking printouts, how to adjust a page, how to give the headers and footers, how to cut a break in a page into page breaks, etc. Freeze panes. This is a very interesting and mostly used or needed part. Let us say I have this serial number. Okay. When I scroll, right now I have only these many columns, but generally I have like 10-15 columns together in a table, and then I keep on scrolling. When I keep on scrolling, I actually lose the column headings and row headings, isn't it? But what if I want to keep the column headings and row headings? Then I go to that particular column and I freeze it. Okay, so you go to that particular column and then you say freeze it. Hmm, option, sorry, freeze. You can freeze first column, first row, etc. Okay, so I want to freeze this particular column. Freeze panes. When I scroll, column A and B have been freezed, but I want to scroll freeze column C. So what I'll do is unfreeze and I'll go to D. After going to D, then I'll say freeze panes. Freeze panes. Now let us see. Yes. So I'm freezing C. What is, how do we do that? You freeze column D and its previous column gets freezed. Okay. So if you want to freeze C, you have to select D. If you want to freeze A, you have to select B. That is what how you go to. So now column C, that means all the serial numbers values are available to me. Or if I want to view the data, let's say I'm in February, okay, and I am having the data like product ID, name, quantity, and rate, like this. Fine. I select it and I say freeze top row. When I click on freeze top row, no matter how much I scroll down, as you can see, I am on row 63, but the first column heading part is available to me. Fine. So this is how we freeze panes and then unfreeze them by saying unfreeze. So we will see it in details. Then creating formulas. Our main focus will be creating different formulas, copying formulas, and using functions. Okay. Now there are other options other than formulas, filtering, sorting, etc. Means what? I already have a data with me and I want to sort the data. Sort the data in the sense I want to use suppose I have this table, okay, and I want to sort it on the salary. So what I can do is I can select it and then I go to data. In data, I can sort. I can sort on a particular column, sort by salary, and the order is either ascending or descending, that is smallest to largest or largest to smallest. So as you can see, the data is rearranged depending upon the values of the salary. So starting from 800 to 8000. So there are many more options to sort that we will later on discuss. Pivoting. Pivoting is looking at the same data from multiple angles. Okay, so you create a pivot table and then you create different charts out of pivot table. So that would be, I guess, mm, the topic towards the end, wherein this is the end result, I can tell you. So uh, I have got some different database here, and there are different pivots that I have created. Like for example, department wise, job wise, sum of salary. Okay, so for department 10, for the job of clerk, the sum of salary is 1300, and this is a grand total sum of salary. Okay, so eventually we will come to know how to create pivot table and how to make changes in the pivot table. Then there is something called as workbook security. Workbook security means what? Sometimes you don't want a person to open your Excel sheet. See, basically, uh, it does not have any login password by default. Okay, but you can provide it. You can protect your workbook by giving different types of securities to it. So the user who has created those securities, only that person can open the workbook. Or you can restrict the security to a particular worksheet. That means anybody can open the workbook, but sheet 1 cannot be opened by anybody. The security is restricted only to sheet 1 and not to sheet 2 and 3. Even that is possible. Okay, so providing securities to workbooks and shortcuts, etc., we will come to know eventually. Generating charts. Okay, we can generate different types of charts based on the data that we have. Let's say like on this data I can create chart by generating values. Different values can be taken. So this is a basic type of chart that we have created. Okay, clerk, or I could have taken employee name and the salary. That's it. Okay, so we will explore different types of chart. This is a basic demo of creating a chart. Okay, so chart types, chart categories, then how to change the labels, how to add the series, how to change different types. For example, I can go to the layout. Okay, so you can change different types. of the charts, etc. You can add series to it. You can change the legend. There are many more things to be done on it. Then I have not focused right now into the details of the formula part. Okay, I'll just give you one demo of a formula here. Okay, so you will get an idea of about how to write formulas in Excel. Fine. For example, I want to find out that what is the total salary of the company. A formula in Excel always begins with equal to symbol. Okay, so you can insert a formula by saying insert function, and all the formulas are available to you here. Okay, so you can choose from the formula and get it. For example, I have this sum function here, so I'm using this sum function. Okay, so it tells you give me the range. That means you want to sum values from which cell to which cell. Okay, so I use this collapsible button, so the window will be minimized, and I will choose the range, that is from this cell to this cell. Can you see a dotted line coming for that range? And the range that it has taken, if I expand it again, D2 till D15, that is from here to here. Okay, if at all your formula is correct, the result is displayed right here only. But if something is wrong, then the result error will be displayed here. Right now, my formula is entered in a correct manner, so immediately the result is displayed. So you can see that this is the value. Whatever formula you have created, it is also written here, right? So instead of going through insert function, I could have directly written this. What is this entire thing called as? This is called as formula bar. So I can directly start typing formulas in the formula bar, or I can insert a function by going through insert function. Or else there is one shortcut. Can you see this button? This is also present for inserting a function. The same one takes you to the same window. Fine. So this way we will be writing many formulas. There is going to be if condition, there will be if else condition, there will be sum if, count if, like that. Okay, so there will be functions which are related to text, number, date, and anonymous functions also. Okay, so there are categories of function depending upon what type of data you are entering in Excel. So for example, there is one function called as len, len. This function, it works on the text type of data. I want to know what is the length of a particular value. So I can say equal to len of, into bracket is compulsory. Okay. Len of this. It is giving you only one value because right now it has calculated for only Smith. If I drag it down, it will calculate it for the rest of them. Equal to len of Smith. Yes, B2. B2 is 6. And then James B3 is 6. Are all of them same? Equal to len of B8 equal to len of, let's say, ABC. I need to give them in text actually. Equal to len of ABC 3. The text data that I have here is not properly entered, so it is giving all sixes. Okay. Or I may say equal to len of this level. Fine. Fine. So this is how we are going to see how to enter text or number or date related functions. So this is what we are actually looking at in throughout these sessions. The session duration, probably I am aiming at one hour, and the total duration of the course I am considering it 12 to 14 hours. Okay, so probably it will take 2 months of time for every weekend that we consider. Anybody is having any questions?
No, that's fine.
No, not
Hello,
from my side.
hello.
No questions from my side, Trupti. Thank you.
So I think should we end here now?
Yeah, actually, we can.
Okay. So if you have any queries, please let me know, or you can communicate with Deepti.
Sure.
Yes, I can
Surely.
definitely provide you. Shobna is asking me, do you provide assignments? So if you want, I can definitely mail the assignments in the form of Word document, which you can try in your own Excel sheet, right?
Okay.
So you will have a practice uh, session for yourself. See, it's like the good part is we have a gap of a week between two sessions. So whenever you get time during the week, you can definitely practice whatever we covered in the weekend. So that is how we can, cope up with it.
Okay.
Anything
Okay.
else?
So I gotta go. So I will leave
Okay,
and then
okay. Yes, definitely.
thank you.
Fine. Everybody, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Tripti, thank you.
Yes.